My name is Lisa, and I'm an internal support coordinator with WEX FSM. I want to welcome you all to today's session of Solution Studio. Remember, there's a short survey at the end to tell us how we're doing, if there's any other subjects you would like us to include in our webinars, and we appreciate your help with that. So basically what we're doing today is to go over maintenance plans and how to use them in the system, why to use them. And so why would you want to have maintenance plans for your company? It's a measurement of the value of your company. The more maintenance plans you have, the more solid your customer base is, and you have additional annual revenue generated outside your install service business that's predictable income. So, should you ever go to sell your business, you can show the person who is looking to purchase your business that you have 250 maintenance plans with customers who are very well anchored to your company, and that provides that value to your company. You can have the option to have the customer pay up front for the plan, where you would see a bulk increase in your cash flow when you sell the plan. Or you can have the option to make it easier to sell the maintenance plan by offering your customers a low monthly payment that automatically generates income in the background every month. So this increases your monthly cash flow. So you can also schedule the service windows during non-peak seasons so that when your techs don't have anything to do during those slow times, you can have something for them to do. And some companies are too small to be big and too big to be small. So this means in your peak season, it feels like you don't have enough employees. But during the other seasons, when it's slow, you feel like you don't have enough to keep your employees busy. So if you plan the maintenance plan service windows during your slow seasons, you can keep your employees busy, service your customers, and have additional income during those slow times. So I was a office manager in Florida, and we did AC work. So most of the work is done through early spring and late fall when it gets really, really hot. And when it cools down a little bit, they are able to turn off their AC and not have heat yet. So for our employees, they didn't have as much to do. So we set up the maintenance plans to start in November. So we got a healthy dose of cash flow because we had them pay for it up front. And then we had plenty to keep our guys busy. Then they also did the spring inspection before it got too hot. And it kept them busy during those months. And then from the time that it started getting hot till back through November, we didn't have time to do too many maintenance plan service windows during that time because we were so busy. So let's get started. Let me pull this up over here. Say log out of here and go back into here real quick. I had to check on something else, so let me get into the correct account. So what you want to do with maintenance plans is you want to set them up. So you want to think about this as a company, what you want to offer and what you can handle. So some people don't do maintenance plans at all. They do an annual checkup, but they don't offer their customers any discounts with that annual checkup. So with a maintenance plan, you can come into your price book and go to your pricing defaults. And this first section is anchored to maintenance plans. You can have more than one type of maintenance plan if you like, but this one is the one that it's going to offer up. So if your customer has a maintenance plan, it is going to have a star on that customer. The star will only appear when the plan is active. So if you sell a future plan, the customer won't have a star until the date of the actual plan that you signed them up for. And once that plan is expired, it goes past that last date, the star will disappear as well. So if the customer has an active maintenance plan and you add an item from your price book to an invoice and you have it set up to allow for a maintenance plan discount, it's going to give them a 10% discount on that item automatically. That's why this is anchored here. The system was built to offer this up automatically. For any of these other pricing defaults, you have to go to the top of the job form and change the pricing defaults, and I'll show you where that happens. But when you set up your discounts, this is the one that will be anchored to that maintenance plan. Any other discounts can be a discount as well or an upcharge. So like for this one, it's after hours. So if you wanted to charge an additional fee for after hours, you could make this a positive instead of a negative. So on any price book products, I go down to, let's see, here, and I open a price book product. You'll see that I have them turned on for maintenance plan, okay? So if you create a price book product that is for like a $99 special and you don't want to give a discount on it at all, you would turn this to off. And all of these would be off. Maybe the after hours one you may leave on and give them the option to reschedule during regular hours, or but you wouldn't give them a discount on anything else that is on this. So think about this as you're creating your price book products, because this is going to automatically offer up a 10% discount. The standard price of this blower motor is $425 with a 10% discount. So it is going to offer up any maintenance plan holder this repair of the blower motor change out for $382.50. So make sure that you check these out. The one other thing about the pricing defaults, there is this little disclaimer at the top that is in yellow. Okay, any changes made below to the pricing strategy default sections will take effect when creating new products in the price book. Existing products in the price book will remain unchanged and need to be updated manually. If you're going to update your whole price book or any particular category, we can do that in a bulk upload for you by a support request for our product team. They can do that, but they can't choose one item from one category and one item from another category. You would have to do that manually. It has to be a bulk increase. The other thing is, if you have Profit Rhino flat rate price book, you will, when you update these, because it is an integrated price book into our system and it automatically pulls these, any changes will update that Profit Rhino price book right away. It's just the ones in your regular price book here that need to be updated. So as I was saying, let's say all of these Daikin ones, anything under Daikin Northeast or something like that, that you wanted to come in here and update, you could say update this category and all subcategories with the update, but you can't go in and choose one from the ductless indoor and then go back up here in another category and choose something from Goodman. Those would have to be done manually. Okay. Okay, so we have another option under settings, jobs, and job preferences. And this is where you can go in and do some settings globally to see how to do things in the system with less clicks. So if you don't want things to show up a certain way on your job forms, or if you never, ever, ever want to offer maintenance plan savings on any invoice, you can shut it off here. Always read the I to make sure that whether shutting it on or off is the desired outcome that you want. The exclude tech travel time always seems backwards to me, so make sure that you read these to make sure that your toggle is set correctly. There's also other things on here to show unit prices, show line item quantities, and show product number, that type of thing. On the job forms. And the other item, as far as maintenance plans, we're going to talk about doing that monthly payment. And if you do that monthly payment, you have the option to auto generate invoices for it. So if you go to sell a maintenance plan to somebody and you're using monthly payments, you would use the job form and hit recommend and sign up and walk through the setup modal on all of the different tabs for the maintenance plan. And the last one is payment. And you would say payment plan. it'll add that line item to the invoice, but it won't have a dollar amount because the dollar amount will be run in monthly increments. Okay. So once that is run, those payments are run like maybe $15 a month. If you have auto generate invoice on and globally, turn it on for you globally, and then on each plan, set it to run. Every time one of those $15 payments runs, it will auto generate an invoice to shake hands with it so the customer balance is always correct. So if it's a $150 maintenance plan and it's going to run at $15 a month, the amount due right now is zero for that plan because it's not the date that it plans on running. So the first of the month or whatever date of the month that you choose on the maintenance plan, and that $15 payment will run, then this will auto generate an invoice for $15, which will bring the customer balance back to zero because that's what they owe you right now. It won't show up as the full amount of the plan minus 15. You can do that way, but it causes you more work. And I'll show you how to do that both ways, but this is where you do the setting for that. Okay. So we've done under the preferences, we've done how to set all of those. And then let's go to the actual maintenance plan templates. So when you set up a maintenance plan template, this is a test account, so we have a lot of them in here for different things, so people could go in and test. So you're going to see a lot of them in here. And each plan, you can choose a color for them. Okay, so when you go in to hit new maintenance plan, the plan needs a name. If you're syncing to QuickBooks and you hit tab, it is going to assign a QuickBooks item name. The QuickBooks item names have to be unique. So if you came from another system and you had a maintenance plan that you sold there that the same name and you want to keep it, right? You want to keep that same plan name on your job forms, you can name it the same thing here, but it's going to add like a 1 or a 2 after it so that the QuickBooks item name will be different when it comes into QuickBooks, but you can still sell it as the same plan name. Okay, you can put in the description everything that you plan on doing for that customer, whether if it's an AC, whether you're going to include the 1-inch filter or give them a discount on the filters, how many, all the things you're going to check, how many service windows you're going to have, like spring and fall. If it's for a commercial piece of property that you're selling the maintenance plan or you're setting them up for commercial, you may have quarterly checkups and then monthly filter changes. So this could be any number of service windows in here. So you would put in here what you offer. There's a 3,000 character limit in here, so you've got plenty of room. You can come in and click here and go to the palette and choose any color so that when your techs see that color of maintenance plan, they'll know what type of plan it is. You choose the contract link and you can go until cancel. A lot of people set up maintenance plans with recurring payments to go until canceled and they just quietly run in the background. That $15 comes in every month until the customer cancels. So you can do that as well. And you can come in and choose an annual price. And if you're thinking you have to choose an income account, whether you charge tax or not. If you do class, if you charge tax, I'm not going to charge tax on this. This is a new feature that is coming out. This is our test account, so they've been in there testing it, this feature, and I wanted to let you know that it's coming out. We're getting ready to push out auto reminders. So if you have a plan and you're using it maybe for an annual plan or a 2-year plan or a not until canceled plan, you can go ahead and when it gets ready to expire, you can turn this on to send auto reminders. And it will send them an invoice so that they can, or an invoice that they can choose whether to do monthly payments or to pay in front. And you don't have to manage these as manually as you do now. So you will have the option to turn this on. If you have created a maintenance plan that you give away free, maybe when you do an install, because that's always a good idea. If you do an install and you give them the maintenance plan. You're out there to check your new system in the spring before the season starts, and in the fall before the heating season starts, so you can make sure everything's working properly for your customer. And on that second service window, they have seen the value. They've seen you show up to your install and that you care about your customer, that it has an easier time of having that conversation to get them signed up for the next year. So if you decide to give one away for free, you can turn this to no. And then when it expires, you can reach out to them to get them to sign up for one that pays. But offering one for free always shows good faith in your work for your customers. So that's always a good thing. Um, on yours, you're not going to see this right now because it hasn't been pushed out, and I don't have a date. I just wanted to let you know that they're working on that, and that is coming out. If you have a PDF of all your terms, you can upload it, or you can go in here and put in your terms for the maintenance plan. Some companies try to schedule both service windows and make every attempt to schedule those, but sometimes you just can't get them scheduled with a customer. And some companies decide to put in their terms that if they've made every attempt to schedule these, then the service windows will be lost. And that's a little bit sad for me because I understand as a business that you're trying to do this and you're trying to get everything off the books and get them cleaned up and make sure these are all done. But one of the reasons for having a maintenance plan is to anchor that customer to you so that when they need a new system, they need other work, that they call you instead of reaching out and getting a ton of different estimates. And then you're in a bidding war with some of your other competitors. If they trust you and have seen your service, they will call you first and may not even call anybody else. But if you start not giving them what they paid for in the service windows, they may look around. So it's just up to you guys as a company what you would like to do with that. Service windows, you would come in and you would hit add window. You have to have at least one service window when you create a plan. You can't do it without any. You choose the start month and the end month for the service window and give it a name so that way it's easier to track. November to December, and we'll call that fall so that you can check your heating. So now I've got my two service windows. It is a maintenance job type, okay? And the estimated duration for these is usually about an hour or an hour and a half for checkups. So you add that in, and this is all you have to do to set up your plan, okay? So now once you have your plan set, I'm not going to go back and do this. I'm going to go to my Jack Dawson customer. So on the customer maintenance plan, you have the option to add a plan here. The only time you should be adding a plan here, because adding the plan here does not generate an invoice. So if you're selling a new plan and you're having them pay for it up front, start with create a new job. Oops. And go straight to the invoice and use recommend and sign up on that. That way you can have a job, you can have the invoice, and they can make payment on that invoice. Okay. So if you're creating a maintenance plan here, the one reason to be creating it here was if you just came over to WEX FSM and you had already sold this customer a maintenance plan in your old system, and you want to go ahead and put it in here so that you can continue to monitor what you owe them, schedule their service windows, and go ahead and finish out what they paid for. So you can add the plan. You can come in. You can choose the plan name. And this one goes for until canceled. And make sure that the start and end date is in like a 365 day. So if it's 6/10, it should be 6/9, depending on the years, however, but the start and the end date should always be that one day in between, because look what happens if you change it to $15. The annual price is the same, but the contract total changes, and it changes the amount of those payments that are going to be running in the background. So make sure that your dates are correct when you set these up. So this should be 09. Okay, so I've got my plan. I've got, this is the auto send reminders. Okay, that is not going to be on yours. That's part of the new feature that's coming out. Whether you collect tax, if you're going to keep track of who sold it, you can put that on here as well. And sign the service windows. If you sell it in June, the next service window may be in September. So you can always change these, and it changes how they put in here. When you do a plan that's until canceled, it's going to put, with 2 service windows, it's going to put 40 of these on the customer's maintenance plan. So make sure that if you are doing until canceled, that you realize that when this happens, there's going to be 40 of those service windows that are on the customer, but each one is going to say September to December and have a year, so you know which one to schedule. The reminders, this is an important feature to have this turned on. You can have more than one recipient and put in your and text. I've seen husband and wife, both email and text. It can be up to 4, because when you get ready to schedule these, you're going to want to send out through the maintenance plan appointment scheduling report. You're going to want to be able to send out notifications for them to call you, so you don't have to call everybody. Payment. So not now would be if you are putting it in here for a plan that was already sold in your other system. And the other reason to create one here is if they call in and they're not out on a job, you can create the payment plan here. It divides the contract amount through the years, and it comes up with $17.79 a month. Okay. First payment date will always be tomorrow. Recurring payments run right after midnight. So if I tried to put this as today's date, it wouldn't run today because those already ran really early this morning. So it always gives it to the next day from the date that you sold it. Auto generate invoices. This is where we turned it on in the preferences to make that invoice every time that 1779 runs. Some people want to email their customers a receipt and some don't. It's just up to you as a company. You put in their payment method and then you save the plan. Okay. So how to monitor these? Okay, so Jack Dawson doesn't have any plans. So if we go to reporting, and go to the maintenance plan appointment scheduling report. That's the one that we were talking about. And this is how you monitor these. So if you wanted to see all the plans that had expired, that have a service window of unscheduled. So anybody that's expired that's unscheduled. So that you still owe them these, but the plan is expired. You can go ahead and schedule these. Ooh, our lights just went out in here. You can go ahead and schedule these if there is a number here. So see how there is a number here? This is where I showed you on that maintenance plan reminder to turn on the email or the text. It has to have a destination to go, okay? And you can send it. Now, these guys up here with the 0, if you click on any of these zeros, it's not set up. So you would have to go back to Jean-Luc Picard. Somebody was doing Star Trek, and come in here to the plan. Come into the plan, go to reminders, and I must have chosen the wrong one because he's got 5 plans. Make sure that this is turned on. Once this is turned on, it will have a 1 there for them. Okay, if I come in here and see expired plans, it would be in here as well. So this one expired 6/7 of 25. Let's see if it was turned on. Nope, the reminders were not turned on this one. So that's the one that we're looking at. Okay. So on the maintenance plan appointment scheduling report, and I'm going to go to back to current plans, anything with unscheduled. So as long as it has a destination in here, you can click select all and hit review. And this will send a notification out to all of these customers who have plans that have a service window that are unscheduled, and send them a notification to call you. Okay. The notifications are set up in the call-in notifications, and I will show you this in just a second. Let me refresh this. It will have today's date here. It will show who it was sent to. Okay. And I like to go ahead and say, as this goes out and they start calling you, instead of you having to call every single one of these customers, the number of unscheduled in here will start to decrease, and you'll start to be able to say, okay, how many times have I sent it out to this customer? And if you look here and you've sent it 2 times, you may want to call them on the 3rd time and try to get them to schedule it. You can always send it out as many times as you want, and it'll show in here every time that it was sent, but you want to get this scheduled, and maybe they're seeing it, maybe they're not, maybe it's going to their spam. I used like the 3-strike rule. So first 2 times, send it out, try to get them to call me. 3rd time, pick up the phone and call them and try to get it scheduled. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. So if we go to the invoice list, when you use auto invoicing, see our invoices always have the job number. Okay. Recurring invoices have an A in front of them, and that's the way that you know that that is a monthly payment plan for the customers. Okay. Now, while these are running, they live up in recurring payments up here. So let's go take a look down here first. So these are all of the existing customers who have those monthly payments. Okay. It's not red, different rule in our system. Usually everything that's red you can click on, but for these, you click on the name, it'll bring up the plan. If their card is expired or they change it, you can change it here. It shows the when's the ones are going to run next and everything like that. Okay, so close this one. So the part that you need to actually monitor is the overdue. And in this one, 229 of these are overdue. So if you go out and do service work for Steve and you try to schedule his maintenance plan service window, you're going to be working for free because his payments are failing. Okay, they've been failing since 2024. Okay, so they've been failing for quite some time. So if you come in here daily as these run, so depending on when you have your recurring payment set up to run, some people always set them up to run on the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month. Some set them up to run the day after the plan is sold, so that you would have to check these throughout the month. So you would come in here and take a look and see any overdue payments, the failure reason. Okay, so let's say the customer thought their card was lost, and you have that option to like shut it off for a little while. And you reach out to them and you say, hey, your payment failed. And they go, oh, okay, let me go turn it on. Let me get that approved. You can go in here and click the box for that one and hit run tonight. Okay. You can also go in and get their new credit card number and take a payment for all of these that he missed. And then you can come in here, and since these don't need to run anymore, you can skip them because you're taking payment another way. Okay. Sometimes the credit card is expired. Sometimes it will say it's been compromised. You'll just have to look at the reason and then reach out to the customer and go ahead and get that updated so that the next payments will run. So just make sure that you're always going in here and checking these to make sure that they are running and running well. So on the maintenance plan, So when you go to schedule a maintenance plan, we're back to this guy who has like a ton of plans. When you schedule these, you can either schedule from the maintenance plan appointment scheduling report, and let me go back over there and show you. On any of these service windows, because this is actually the service window, you can click on unschedule and it brings up the service request, or you can schedule it right now. If you put it the service request, it's going to live on the schedule on the left-hand side until you get ready to go out and you drag and drop it to somebody and go ahead and get out there. But if you can schedule it now, schedule the date and the time, who it's going to be there. It recommends a half an hour. Okay. And so you can do that from here, or you can do it from here. And it's the same window to schedule it. Okay. So if you came and you went to the regular schedule and they called in and you clicked here and found Jean-Luc Picard and you scheduled this appointment here, it does not make the service windows, where is that? He's 3 over here disappear. Okay. So to only schedule from here or that maintenance plan where it says unscheduled, engage this. Okay. So if you schedule it from here, it's going to say scheduled. When the tech clocks in and out, it will be completed. Okay. And you'll know that this has been done for your customer. So let's say you went ahead and you created it here and you created a new one, and then you went back and wait, we already did that. We already did the spring. You can come in here and you can click the pencil and you can change job, go find the job that you actually did it on and change that. And as long as the tech has clocked in and out of that job, it will change this service window job number to the job that it was actually done on, and this will say complete. Okay. So if for some reason you schedule it the wrong way, there is a way to go back to the timeline and say, okay, it was done on job 1455. I can come in and go change job 1445, I think it was. There we go. And change it to that job. And then it will change this to that job and complete. Okay. So now we've got all of those taken care of so that you can schedule them. You know where to schedule them. You know where to come in, and you know to reach out to people to call you to get these scheduled. Let's see, what else do we need to go? We already talked about the auto renewal that's coming. And so that would be that. I'm trying to think if there is anything else on maintenance plan and recurring payments that you would need to see. We've already got, oh, call and notifications. Call and notifications. So email and text look just the same if you're signed up for both of them. But the maintenance plan scheduling request from that maintenance plan scheduling report, this is what it says when you go out. So this is under email. It says, hello, customer first name. This is a reminder from our business that it's time to schedule your next maintenance appointment. Please contact us at this. So when you're sending that out from that maintenance plan appointment scheduling report, this is what they're seeing. And it's to prompt them to call you to get that scheduled. So you don't have to keep a spreadsheet or go through each and every one of these and call everybody. And the text notification, if I can get over there, looks just the same, except for it's on what they would see on their cell phone. Okay. So always make sure that this is set up with what you want it to say. And it will go out to each of your customers because it will pop in their first name and your business name. Anything that's on the side here in red, you can go ahead under notifications and click in here and click the red, and it will populate that information in here for you as well. So maybe you wanted hello customer first name, and then put my cursor to the left of that. And then I put in customer last name. So now it says, hi, John Doe, because I didn't leave a space in there. Now it says, hello, John Doe, with a space in there. This is a reminder from Joe's Services that it's time to schedule it. So it will set up these or pull the correct name of every customer for you and um, send that out to them so that they can call you. So did you have any questions today or anything else that I could help with today?
No, thank you.
So how am I doing, Ruby?
You're doing awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
These are like refresher courses for me. So it's like
Yes.
every single time I watch these, I always find something new. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yes, and it's really nice, especially with that auto renewal that's going to be coming out. It
Yeah,
will be really, really exciting to see that. One of my teammates is working on that, and as she gets to a certain point, then I get to go take a look at it and see how they are, how it works, and make sure that there's plenty of options in there so that you have choices. Like I said, with that $0 maintenance plan that you might give away, you wouldn't want to
right.
auto renew that because then they're getting it for free. So.
Exactly. We
So,
don't want
so once again, you're working for free, right? And
right. We don't want to work for free right now.
you're right. And you guys are not a nonprofit, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any more questions, I'll let you go. I'm trying to remember what's on tomorrow. Let's go take a look at the schedule. I'm working in a different place today, so my everything is in a different.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. I went into the office and I had to go tuck into a separate room, and I'm going, I don't know where anything is on my computer right now, and I don't have enough. So here's my solution studio for June. And so I would come in. Tomorrow is going to be purchase orders.
Oh,
So,
nice. I believe I'm signed up for that one as well. So I might see you tomorrow.
okay. Well, it's good talking to you, and thank you for coming, and you have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.